Are you being selfish or are you just loving yourself? I am here with my dear friend and colleague, psychologist Sara Rector, and today we're going to be talking about some self love versus being selfish in honor of the Love Month.
You say selfish like it's a bad thing, Denise. Or maybe it's the differential between what is self-love and being selfish.
I think that's a good point, because sometimes I feel selfish when I'm taking care of myself. How about you? Give me a yes in the comments below if you also feel the same way when you're trying to take care of yourself. Do you feel selfish? Send me a yes in the comment section. So how about you? How do you take care of yourself?
Oh my gosh, let me count the ways.
Let's count the ways.
You know, and I have to say, the older I get, the better at this I get, taking care of myself.
So we can learn from the wise.
Yes, I just had a birthday.
She did. Happy birthday to you.
The gifts of aging. So the thing of it is, I think as women, we're conditioned to be selfless, and we're really rewarded for giving. And that's really our nature, to be other focused. My goodness, when we have a baby attached to us by umbilical cord, we get very focused on that process. You know, in fertility, we get very focused on that process, and then it just continues on and on. And as a society, we're focused. We are meant to be giving, or we get rewarded for giving. But you can't pour
rewarded for giving.
Yeah, well, you can't pour from an empty cup. I mean, that's the bottom line. And what happens is we get exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
We get depleted. And what I tell my clients is that you've got to fill up your own well. I mean, that is such a great metaphor.
Yeah.
And there's some people in our lives. You know, I remember when there was a gas shortage and people would pull up with these huge RVs. And I thought to myself, wow, I've got some people in my life that I feel they pull up next to me with their huge RV and they want me to fill them up. And I got to take a look at that.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah, I got to take a look at that. And it's my responsibility to fill up my well and to really be clear on what I tell my clients and myself too, is look at the people, places, and things that fill you up, and the people, places, and things that are draining and depleting. That is real. It's a math equation, you know, especially when people are going through an infertility cycle. I say, you know what, you've got to maximize those people, places, and things that fill you up, and really minimize the people, places, and things that deplete you, especially during this time. But it's a great rule of thumb for life, just to have that awareness.
It is. I think it's something that's maybe a constant reminder to do for yourself, to constantly check in. Who are your surroundings? Who do you spend most of your time with? And how do you feel when you leave them? Right? And I think that's important.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah. And it is really important, because if I'm not for myself, then who will be for me?
Right.
You know, we are charged with that responsibility. And sometimes as women, we might think, well, I give to all these people, and they should reciprocate in kind. But a lot of times that doesn't happen.
Right.
You know, and then we get angry and resentful, and those aren't pretty emotions, are they?
No. No.
They're not very loving. So the thing of it is, the greatest love of all is, as Whitney Houston sang, too bad she didn't practice it, but she sang about the greatest love of all, and the song is so beautiful, because the greatest love of all is what?
The happiness.
Ourselves.
Self-love. Yeah.
Self-love.
I'm trying to think of the song.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And it's really ourselves.
Our self-love, yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, I could go on and on. Did you want to say something?
No, it's great. I'll jump in.
And the other thing, I love this metaphor, is when you're in an airplane.
Oh, yes.
And the air, you know, I'll play stewardess now. I know this by heart. The air pressure in the cabin should drop, then an air mask will drop from the ceiling. And who's mask do you put on first?
Supposed to put yours on first.
Yeah, if you're traveling with small children or dependent people, you put yours on first. And why do we put ours on first, Denise?
So we can take care of the people around us.
Exactly. We got to put ours on first. Otherwise, if we're helping them and we go down, who's going to help them get on that chute to get out of the plane? Nobody. So we've got to put ours on first. And that's just such a great metaphor for self-care and self-love. The more my well is filled up, the more that I take care of myself, the more that I have to give.
The more you have to give.
Yeah.
So what are some signs that you think, like, when you start to get too depleted, what are some signs that okay, I really need to just pause for a moment or take care of myself or create some space? Or
Well, okay, I'm going to put my other glasses on now.
okay.
Maybe so, you know what? Here's the thing. I love this acronym from 12-step, and I think I've shared it before, and it's called HALT. Never get too hungry, angry, lonely, tired.
I love that.
So the thing of it is, it's kind of checking in with your inner baby. Check I have this mommy pregnancy and mom group. I check your own diaper, see, is it feeling kind of shitty? So I know I said a bad word. Better put my love glasses back on. Okay. Is it feeling kind of poopy? Are you feeling poopy? Yeah. So that it's like, well, what's going on with me?
Right.
Am I hungry? Am I angry? Am I lonely? Am I tired? So when we don't feel good, we check in. We could check in with ourselves and just see what's going on and what's the remedy. That'll tell us what the remedy is.
Yeah.
And
to try to figure it out. And do you ever, like, I know for myself, when I start to feel too depleted, there's a few things that there's some things I need to do every day. Mm-hmm. And some of that would be like meditation. I need to meditate every morning to make sure that I'm grounded and I fill myself up and give my gratitude. And so then I feel like I'm able to conquer the day. I also need to exercise and eat. For me, I need to eat healthy and eat clean so that I know that I have the energy to feel good. For me, that's self-care. I know I'm taking care of myself when I'm eating good. Totally. Yeah. And then I need to get a massage. Mm-hmm. We were just talking about that. Today I had a one of those odd days. For me, it was an odd day. I'm usually pretty high energy, really positive, and I was just sharing yesterday. I was just feeling really depleted. And so Sara mentioned this is perfect timing for you to remind me, yes, take care of myself too, right? So what are some of the things that you do for your self-care?
Well, definitely massage, and I love, I don't know how many people are local, but I know the Four Seasons in Westlake Village is actually one of the best spas in the world.
Yeah.
And we have it right in our backyard because we're located here in the Conejo Valley, and they have the Wow Me Wednesdays.
Oh, that's right.
And so that's great because it's half price. You can stay. What I normally do is I go with a friend. I get a massage or a facial, or sometimes if I'm really treating myself, I get a facial and a massage. And then we usually lay out at the pool, so getting that sunshine, and I love to swim. Mm-hmm. And then we have lunch there, and then
like a whole day,
it's a whole day. I give myself the day off to recharge and rejuvenate, and it's so needed because as women we give so much. And it's important. That's a way to fill up the well. And I love what you say about the meditation in the morning and the writing. One of the things that I've been doing is The Artist's Way. I don't know if you've heard of that, but she talks about Julia Cameron, the morning pages. Mm-hmm. And so it's a practice that
I love the morning.
Yeah, that I mean, it's not perfect, but to get up in the morning and write 3 pages. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of a breakdown that lends itself to big clarity. You can make lists. You can, she says, if you just la, 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 la for 3 pages, that's fine. But at least you have the discipline, the practice to do 3 pages. And it's amazing. It's amazing how that practice has really helped me get in touch with myself, because when I hit the ground running, what does my husband need? What does my daughter need? What do my clients need? What does my office need? I'm very other focused. And so this is time when I'm checking in with me. And that's so, so important.
That's important.
Yeah.
How would you say for some women who are feeling like taking the time is being selfish? I know you said like you have to put our mask on 1st and fill our well so we can give, but what's another way that we can like kind of tune in and go, okay, I'm not being selfish. Should we define what being selfish looks like?
I think I'll let you do that.
You want me to do that?
Because like I said, you say selfish like it's a bad.
Oh, okay.
I kind of, well, you want to do it, or I just thought of something.
Go ahead. Yeah, please.
Well, I happen to be Jewish, and there's this concept I used to take. I don't know if you know this about me, but I taught 6th and 7th grade religious school for a little bit.
Oh, I did not know that about you.
Yeah, and it was really fun. And one of my favorite concepts that I learned and I taught the kids was this concept of Yetzer Tov and Yetzer Hara. Have you heard of that concept? So Yetzer Tov is good, and Yetzer Hara is evil.
Oh,
and another interpretation is selfishness.
Okay.
So the teaching is that God does not want us to be either extreme. That Yetzer Tov means that you do everything for others, but we are children of God, and God doesn't want us to not be good to ourselves.
Right.
So we need to have a balance of being selfless and selfish. Yetzer Hara to the extreme is a sociopath. Is someone that doesn't really care about anybody else but themselves. They'll sell their own mother, and so there's a balance that's needed in our lives. So I think that's a good way of.
That's a beautiful way. That really honed in for me. That resonated with me. Say heck yes if that resonated for you, because that was such an amazing distinction.
Thank you.
I love that. It was so beautiful because it really is about the balance. So being selfish could be equivalent to being taking care of yourself, and as long as it's in balance.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Am I jumping?
It's like giving it's like reframing the word selfish is what you just did.
Yeah, it's on a continuum, as most life is.
Yes.
And the thing that's interesting is that sometimes people will call you selfish.
Yes, this is good.
Yes, let's go there.
We're going there.
Here's the thing is that this is an important concept to learn, because I don't like disappointing people.
Yeah.
That's really hard for me. And that's, one of the definitions of codependency, is we can throw ourselves under the bus. Mm-hmm. God forbid we disappoint someone. But we will disappoint people, because people are loved ones. People are not loved ones. Everyone has their own agenda. And then in relationship, each person has their own agenda for that other person.
Yes.
And we have to be to our own selves, be true. We have to be true to ourselves. And sometimes what that means, it doesn't fit in with someone else's agenda for us,
Yeah.
So, I've struggled with that with my husband. Like, he needs something right away, and I've had this process. We've been married for many, many years, and just having that awareness of, wow, well, when he says jump, I don't have to say how high and interrupt what I'm doing to meet his needs. That I can say, hold on a minute. I'm right in the middle of doing something, or let me get back to you, or I don't have an answer. Mm-hmm. That I can check in with myself.
That's good.
And that can be frustrating for him, because he wants an answer now, or he wants that glass of water, or whatever he wants. And but I have to be true to myself, otherwise I'll get angry and resentful of him.
Right.
Yeah.
So it comes back to, again, being mindful of yourself, and then knowing yourself and honoring what's inside of you and what you need, so that you can manage and still take care of him, but maybe not in that instant.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a friend of mine used to tell me about 20 years ago, and I always say it in my mind. I have certain people in my life that want things like right now, and they're pulling. And I have to say, okay, your urgency is not my emergency.
Yes.
I say that to myself.
Yes.
Because just to help me remember that thought, it's really helpful to kind of just voice it in my mind.
Yeah, that we get to check in and figure out, well, where are we at? Just because they want something or they need something, is that something that we are able to provide at this moment, are willing to provide?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's good. And so communication, though, would be really important to be able to communicate what you need. But first, you need to know what you need.
Exactly, and that's where your meditation comes in.
Mm-hmm.
That's where your writing comes in. That's where you, getting in touch with your body. I really feel like when I've gone to acupuncture, that has really helped me become aware of my body and helped unleash my body's inner resources. And also therapy. Of course, I'm a big believer in therapy because I'm a therapist. But that I go to therapy too, and that helps me get in touch with where I'm at. It's my check-in time, and that's what I like to provide for my clients is their time to figure out what they're wanting and needing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we start the sessions. Is what are you wanting and needing today?
Love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
So those were some big ahas. Love that. Or your urgency is not my emergency. I thought that was a really big aha on the distinction and reframing the word selfish. I think that was brilliant, Sarah. Thank you for that. It really made a big difference for me. I'm sure it made a big difference for you. Is there anything else you want to share about that? I think we got some good points there.
I think we did too. I want to use my props.
Oh.
Okay, so love what you do. That's important. Freud said there's two things in life, love and work. So love what you do. And
I do. I love what I do.
See through the eyes of love. And blow kisses and send love out into the universe. Thank you.
Oh, that's a really nice way to end it. So just to recap real quickly, I always like to do a recap, is you need to know your needs so that you can communicate them, and it all comes back to you and your decisions and what's going on in your life and how are you going to choose to respond. I kind of just reframe that in a different way, but I'm summarizing. And I think, as Sarah so beautifully reframed, the whole selfish is a self-love, but it's when you do too much, when you focus too much on yourself. But the other problem is when you're giving too much and you're completely depleted. So it's finding that balance and learning what you need so that you can stay in your best and enjoy your life and have the energy that you need to give and support not only yourself, but the ones that are around you. I think those were my biggest ahas.
Excellent. I totally agree.
You totally agree.
You're brilliant, by the way.
I love you.
I love you too. You're brilliant and fun. That's the best combination for me.
Oh, you're awesome. Thank you. We have fun. I hope you enjoyed and got a lot out of this segment, and we will see you next time for St. Patty's Day.
Yay! La, la.
Oh, let me put my glasses on. So enjoy the month of love. Make sure you love yourself as you love others, and take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.